But something we do care about, our last movie of the day is Fear Street Part 3, 19, not 19, I'm sorry, 1666.
Oh,
The year
1666.
witch.
Oh my gosh, I'm so scared. All right. So, we talked about the first one, and then we talked about the second one, and then we came up with a few different ideas of what the third one would be, and I'm happy to say that it's better than what I figured it would have been because it was a very good ending to this trilogy of movies. Um, I really enjoyed this third volume just because of what they put in it. I'm glad they did what they did with the story. We talk about swerves and and having twists and stuff and people abusing them and putting twists in their movie and their movie being absolutely garbage because they're in every single one of their films and they're just a trash director overall and doesn't have any real vision and people just like the name of that person. This is not that, right? This is a
Yeah.
good twist. I'm not gonna say his name. I hate
You
him.
went hard on M. Night Shyamalan for no reason just now.
Yeah, he's got that one movie. We're gonna have to check that out too. The old movie. I don't want to watch any of his movies, but just for the sake of the show, and I'm sure people who want to watch our show want to see that because his name is M Night Shyamalan, and they have this thought and idea that he's good. So maybe that movie will finally be good. But we're not talking about him. We're talking about Fear Street Part 3 and how it has the big twist at the end that makes everything make sense. That is something that I called. I said we would find out something about this movie that we thought was true, and turns out it wasn't. And
Yeah.
that's exactly what happened. And that's not for me, y'all. I didn't come up with that strategy. That's just a reality in trilogies, and it was pointed out to us by the great Randy from Scream on Scream 3. He talked about it, so that's where I got that from. So y'all, credit to my boy Randy. You know what I'm
R.I.P.
saying? R.I.P. Dog. The rules of movies. But yeah, what'd you think of this movie, man?
I would actually have to say that Fear Street Part 3, honestly, in all honesty, may be the best part.
Wow.
It may be the best part. Never, ever, really, hardly that the third movie in a trilogy is the best. But the reason why I would say this one is the best is because it started off really strong, and we get such a good witch hunt. We've seen a bunch of witch hunts in movies, but this one just felt so intense for some reason, and it it felt different. And then when you start to see everything unfold, and we spent those weeks waiting and watching each movie, and you finally see everything unfold. They just kind of spoon feed you and spoon feed you, and then in that third movie, they just hit you with the truth out of nowhere. They slap you with the truth all up and down that movie, and you just feel like a horrible person for believing one way, and you learn something, and the more keeps happening, and it literally does not stop. My wife is a very, I love her, but she does not have a lot of emotions when we watch movies. She's just like, hmm. At the end of the third one, she was like, that was good. So
Nice.
for her to come out and say something, you have to know that like that part was good, and for them to go back and with the conclusion of 1994 Part Two, and we're not going to spoil anything because people really deserve to go see. They should watch this movie. If you haven't, you got to. It's three movies, and it's so worth it. All of it is worth it. Like I don't have anything. I can't. I love it. I want more.
Mm, yeah. First off, a lot of books, a lot of books to give us more content, and I think they're already seeking the director is already seeking the opportunity to do more and expand on the universe. So there's that.
They should. They definitely should.
I agree. Should greenlight it. Netflix, y'all hit it out of the park with this one. I like the style that y'all did it. You did 3 feature-length films, and instead of giving us every piece all at once like Netflix likes to do, you spread it out week after week. I think that's cool. I don't think I've had like a subscription week movie, like full on movie
Hmm.
like that before. Like
It's tight.
usually we have to wait, a whole year to get the next part. I like the way they did that because it all goes together, but it's more than a TV show. You get to really get out all the stuff. Like we get weekly episodes for like Loki. They're like 50 minutes max and 40 minutes like when it's a short one, and same thing with like the Mandalorian and stuff like that. Like they're good, but you get left wanting more because they're
Yeah.
so short. And then you have to wait a week for it. Well, this kind of does the same thing, but you're getting a whole movie each time. So it's like a Friday night event, which is
Yeah,
great.
it's what you're right. It felt like Friday night event. You pop some popcorn with the wife. You sit down. You sit in the dark. You watch Fear Street. It felt good, and I want that feeling again. And I was talking to some friends about Netflix and how they might be going down in a sense. They are still strong, but Fear Street changes my mind. That full experience of Fear Street got me going. It got my adrenaline going. Like I said, there's rare times I'm at the edge of my seat, but Fear Street got me every week.
Yeah, it was really good. And let's
The
not
first
get it
one's the weakest one.
let's not get it twisted. Like it's not a scary movie. It's a horror movie, but they don't skimp on the kills, right?
They don't.
They don't skimp on the kills. They don't skimp on the horror aspect, and they're not there to just get cheap scares either, right? And that's part of why it's not super scary. But you know what? There's a story there, and it's very strong, and it has those elements, and it can creep you out if you're creeped out by those particular things. I think it was really cool to get all the different killer characters involved. Um,
Bunch of them.
yeah, it's hard to talk about when you say we're not going to spoil it. I think we might have to draw a line and then let people know they go have to hop off the hit and watch it. Y'all had a week to watch it. You know what I'm saying? But we go through this movie, and you know, each each story arc has something specific to it. And the first one, you're in 1994, and you're there the whole movie, right? You don't jump to a different time at all in that movie. There's flashback to like here's the story of Sarah Fear, and you're going through that, but that's not really like filmed stuff for that time. And then you have the second movie, which is the 1978, and you do have that, but you also have stuff happening in the 94 timeline,
Hmm.
right? That we go back to, and that's only for a little bit. And then you have this movie where 1666, the origin story, and then you find out what's going on, and then you get back to 1994, and it's like, okay, now that we know what's going on, now that we've figured it out, then we're doing the rest of the movie in 1994. And I mean, I think that it works really well. I think it works super well because, kind of like it's like I mentioned him for a reason when we first started talking. But
You
16,
did. And
1666 feels a lot like The Village, except for it's good, right? Like it's not trash.
yeah.
It's not trash.
I can't stand you.
It's like
I do
they
want to say, without spoiling though, you did actually. I want to say, I believe in the first review we did. So without spoiling anything, this episode, You can go back to our first episode where we talk, not the first time we talk about Fear Street. I believe you call the actual murderer in the first episode, if I'm not mistaken. One of them has to be related to somebody that did something wrong. I just have to go out and say it. They have to. Somebody's family member, somebody great pig stealing granddaddy did something wrong to somebody.
Yeah,
I believe you say something about that person, and that's why I'm saying it. It stuck. It sticks out to me that you brought it up, and you're like, I think it's him, and that's what I'm saying. It was really good, and how it wrapped up was everything wrapped up with like a bow in a sense. Like it wasn't all peaches and rainbows. Like people still died,
yeah,
but but we got this conclusion to this story, but yet it can still continue
right.
from other angles. Without our character, we can be happy that our characters in Fear Street, the first three parts, are satisfied, but it doesn't mean that everybody else in Shady Side and Sunnyvale are safe.
Right, exactly. And what's cool is that most of the actors still got to die even if they were alive at the end. I like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They still got paid, baby. They still got paid.
I think that's a really cool aspect to it. Yeah, you're trying to figure out how you can stop Seraphir, right? And then you learn about Seraphir, and then you're like, oh, so we gotta do something else. And I think that's what you're supposed to do. And like you said, like trilogy movies, I can't. I what third movie is the best of a trilogy? Like a true trilogy? If you took Star Wars, right, and you put them out there, I'll make the argument that even though the prequels are not as good, the third one's the best to me, right, of the
I would
prequels.
say in most, rather than the new sequels, I would say that in the prequels that yes, people would probably say Revenge of the Sith is the best. Maybe I'm not going to speak for everyone. I would say for me, um, and maybe some people would argue that Return of the Jedi is the best. I used to say that, but Empire is definitely the best
I
out of
Yeah,
that.
I'm with Empire on that too. Some movies just can't top the first one. Scream 3 is not the best. Scream 1 is the best. Scream 1 is the best. It just
We
is.
don't even count Scream 3.
Uh,
Well, we do. We do. We do. We don't.
Roman
We don't.
Bridger, director. Hey,
Oh,
nobody
stop.
picked out my quote from the thing, so next time y'all get it, just remember, we'll go play these little games sometimes, The hard part is you just have to think like me. Might as well game. But that's hard. but
But overall, Fear Street Part 3, you loved it, you liked it, your overall consensus. I feel like you loved
See, you're already thinking like me. You see that? That's because we have a connection, right? Because we're all a part of this curse together. The
it. No.
no, I loved it. Right, Fear Street, the series of movies, the trilogy, they went hard as fuck. I think that
Yeah.
I'm super impressed. I wish I could be a part of it because I think that this particular horror franchise, this trilogy of movies, has stuck a big old shot right up the booty of horror. Two fingers. Let's
Well, I
try
would say
three.
it's not, but like you said, it's not necessarily horror. It's horror, but it's like an adult Goosebumps. Like we're legit getting the adult Capri Sun of horror films, and it's something we can enjoy and not be. We get a good story with a horror element, not 100% horror, but we get that mystery, that thrill, that
Mm-hmm.
What's gonna happen next? What's gonna happen next on the next exciting episode of Dragon Ball Z? That's what it felt like on Fear Street.
It did. It did, but it did a lot of things right. It just did. Like, all right, horror. I'm supposed to be creeped out. And you're not only going to creep me out by the story that you're trying to tell, because I could be like, I don't believe that stuff and oh, whatever, it's not real. Okay. But when you see somebody's dome get split open with an axe and you see it, whether it's fake or it's not, if it looks good on camera, then you're like, whoa, I don't want to be there. I don't want to be there. And
They
that's
killed
that's
kids.
they killed kids in this series. You know, they took a lot of what horror these B horror franchises, B horror films do wrong. Horror has devolved into this exploitive crap of jump scares or like just ram kills down my throat. You know, movies like The Collector and stuff like that. It's just a bunch of kills, gore for no reason. Um, some of them try to give you reasons, like The Conjuring, like, oh, there's this witch thing, but it's like ultimately, while they're decent, the high production is still not as good as it could be because the story's weak. The characters, you don't get behind them as much,
Yeah.
and you know, I think this really changes the game to me, right? This excites me about horror. Like, we talk about bars being set for now. To me, this is a new bar. I said it on the first episode that this is a B horror film. I said it
Yeah.
on the second
But
episode
it's
that it's a B
it's a
horror
good one.
film. Now on the third episode, after seeing the third, when I look at it as a whole, when I look at
It's
it
an
as a
A.
whole, it's a A. It's a
It's
A.
an overall A.
It's an overall A. The first one is not the best one. The second one I felt was my favorite. The third one is right next to the second one. But altogether, I think, like I said, I really think that they did something here that you can jump on, and if other people want to make stories like this, it's gonna work really well. It's not overly funny. It's not overly scary. It's not overly gory, but it has elements of all those things, and they do it right.
Yeah,
And
I would definitely say the best way to describe this movie is you see this steak? I know it's not real, but in my head, it tells me the best goddamn steak I've ever had. All right? That's how I feel about Fear Street. All
all
right?
right,
I know it's not.
it gets the cipher approval.
Get the
Put
cipher
me back in
approval,
the
okay?
Matrix now. Listen,
like,
plug me in. I'll
like,
give you Morpheus today. Get me back in here with these steaks.
like I'm telling you, man, it just was again, like you said, every week. But every week it was like a savory steak. Like there was nothing that was like, I'm not gonna come back and watch Fear Street. Every week it gave you something to say. I need to watch the next movie, and it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter how long I have to wait, but I'm gonna watch the next Fear Street when it comes out.
Yep. Yep. And that's something I don't really say about horror movies. Like, I want to see them, but I'm not like. I always expect garbage. Half garbage, half awesome. That's what a horror movie
Yes.
is. Like, it just is. Like Jason movies, like. It's like I talked about Space Jam. It's like. It's made for me, a horror aficionado. Not it's not made for Oscars and movie snobs. It's made for horror lovers.
Yeah.
So
People
it reaches
like
to me,
that.
but I know it's gonna be kind of garbage because it is. Just how much
That's the
garbage can
best
I
part.
tolerate? It's like if you give me what I need, then I'm okay with it being a little garbage. Like I said, Friday the 13th, go back and watch all those. This dude Jason Voorhees is the most iconic slasher now out of all of them. He's not the first one, and but he's still the most iconic. let me know which one of those is like actually like grade A horror. There's two out of the whole 11, 12 different ones that are actually
Whoa.
really good to me. And that's not even like all the way true. They're still campy. They're
They're
still
campy as
yeah, but they're fun, right? They're fun. Like
yeah,
even though they're
we did the
trash.
Jason run recently. Me and Matador just redid the Jason run recently, and it was fun. It was just a fun experience. Like it was trash, like you said, but it keeps you coming back. Just
Yeah.
like this show, movie. I'm sorry, it's not even a show. I keep saying show. It's a film series.
Yeah, it's a film series. It's a trilogy. No, but it was
It's
awesome,
weird
man.
to say.
It's awesome. Highly recommend it. If you haven't watched it already, you definitely should. You're missing out. And yeah, I mean, like I said, every horror movie that comes out from here on in, I'm comparing it to this. Is it as good as Fear Street? That's how good I felt like this series was. It just did everything for me that I wanted out of a horror movie. It's it wasn't the most original thing in the world because it's borrowing a lot of elements from other movies, but it's so unique on its own that it still manages to do all of the stuff really well, and it never takes away from itself. Um, they did a great job getting away from the things I didn't like in the first one, in the
Yeah.
second and third one, and I think it's just part of it, right? The way the story needed to be told. Um,
Hmm.
I think it's a great journey. I look forward to R.L. Stein's next films.
Adventure. For sure, for sure. Well, everybody, that was the mega movie review. We have definitely covered some great movies today. Space Jam, Fear Street Part 3, and last but not least, Redness Relief, directed by Jamal Williams.
Yes,
All
yes.
right,
Round
had
of
to give an
applause.
applaud for it.
Round of applause.
Definitely. Again, make sure if you would like to see our interview that we're going to have with Jamal Sixth Street Williams, go tune in at the Nikolai Capone podcast live at 7 p.m. on Friday. He will be in the building joining the show for the podcast over there. We will be asking him some questions. Again, if you want to see the movie, go to the SGA network and download that app right now. And you can go check it out on their app. You can get it on Apple TV, Roku, or Fire Stick right away. Redness Relief. Again, go check it out. It is fire, y'all.
Yes, sir. Awesome, man. Awesome. Awesome. So, some of our fans may be a little upset because last week we said we were gonna review three movies, one of which was Fear Street, and the other one we said we was gonna watch The Quiet Place 2, and we said we was gonna watch Gunpowder Milkshake, and sometimes you gotta call it audible. We're out here doing our thing. We are celebrating content creation. We are celebrating our friends, and we are celebrating great movies as we can. We're just gonna do it the way we do it. But as always, if there is something particular that you would like to see us review that is not already on our agenda, then please let us know. Drop a line in the comments below. Let us know and we will deliver.
And like and subscribe because it's free and like it's the best thing you can do for the channel.
Yeah. What are you waiting for? An engraved
Do it.
invitation?
Just do it. It's
Just do
free.
it, man. Just do it.
It ain't hard. Just like the video.
Just
Like
click
just do it. I know y'all watching us live.
click
Just
it.
drop the like.
Click
Drop
it.
it now.
Yeah,
Nah,
please
but we
check out our YouTube channel for the rest of our content. You'll find all kinds of reviews on there. You'll find some of our shorts that we do. We're just trying to do the best that we can every week. Glad to be here with you, my good buddy Elijah, Mr. Retro EJ. And that's all I got, man. That is all I
That's all I
got
got
today.
today. It was a good show, and we about to take our way on out of here. But again, thank y'all for coming through. Like and subscribe, share. Again, go check out Redness Relief out now at the SGA Network. Go download those apps on Apple TV, Fire Stick, or Roku. The descriptions are down below. My name is Retro.
And I'm Matador Gabe, and we will catch you on the flip. Oh, yeah.
It's a great show, man. Definitely about to
Do
see
that
what
thing.
is up.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
What else do we need to watch?
So we definitely need to do what we promised them. I watched Gunpowder Milkshake, and I need to rewatch it again. But we should probably do. We talked about Vicious Fun. There's gonna be new films coming out this week too. I watched Escape Room.
Oh, there you go. I could probably try to watch Escape Room. Like I said,
Think,
Old is coming.
are we gonna do Snake Eyes?
If you want to. If you want to.
Suicide
I can
Squad's
watch it.
coming up.
Oh, well, definitely when Suicide Squad comes out.
I should have the comic book so we can show it.
That would be cool.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
You get a free one when you go see it in theaters.
You get a free episode. We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Retro Matador Podcast. To support our channel, please like and subscribe to all of our video content. Or you can just lose and get nothing.
Exactly. At the end of the day, we don't care.
Thank you for watching.